Hello everybody, I'm Phoenix Abel, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. I've wanted to play this I've played this before. I've actually played this for quite a bit. I've got a few hours already in it. But I decided, I need to stop playing this off screen. I should play it on screen because, well, I need to start playing more games on recording instead of off screen, because otherwise I'm not going to play any games while recording. And I'm going to not get any videos out. So, yeah, and I said I was going to do a let's play of, or do a sort of a thing with China. Oh my gosh, the Donald Trump jokes are going to be all over the place. Sorry, China. I'm not going to say that joke very often because that's not quite appropriate for my channel, but you guys, I'm probably going to put a bunch of videos of Trump saying China. I'm going to try and avoid being political with this one, but it's going to be very hard. Okay, so we're going to be playing as China. I said I wouldn't do it, and we're playing with, but I'm still doing it. Okay, anyway, we're playing as China in the Hearts of Iron 4 Road to 56 mod, because this is the one I know how to do China the best in. I can probably do it in regular, but it's a lot harder. And yeah, so immediately I want to get in. So first thing I always do is come on. Come on. Doesn't take this long usually. Oh, by the way, I have my graphics way down because my computer has a bad graphics card still. So take every single troop, put them on one guy. I mean, I'm sort of new to this game, so I don't really do a whole lot of. I don't like throwing a bunch of guys together. So you'll either want to put on Shaanxi, or however you pronounce that, or the Communist China border. I'll usually put on the Communist China border because Shaanxi usually doesn't cause any problems with what I'm going to be doing. Okay. And then you want to have them exercise. Okay? And you want to produce as many guns as possible. You want lots of guns. And there's the reason for this, is that when you're playing as China, your biggest problem is Japan. Japan is gonna kill you very fast if you are not prepared. Throw in a few civilian factories, and then I'm gonna throw in a few of those for later, and then I'll have a few infrastructure around here for later. Don't build in your puppet here, and you'll find out why in a bit. And it's telling you to upgrade your guns. Don't upgrade your guns. You can upgrade your cruisers if you really want to. I usually do, but do not upgrade your guns. You want your guns cheap because you want to be able to produce a lot of them. Okay, secondly, as China in Hearts of Iron 4 Road to 56, you are very much neutered. Basically, you are very weak. You have lots of debuffs on you. Makes it really hard. You also want to go for that first. If you're playing co-op with a partner, you'll want to go for the other option of that political internal stability. You probably want to go. If you're playing co-op with another person who's like, say, playing Chinese Soviet Republic, you want to go with this one. But if you're playing this single player, you want to go for this one. I'm not okay. I'm losing. I shouldn't be losing that right this early. I still usually have a positive. Okay, it doesn't matter because I'll get like a bunch of political power from this. That's right. Wait, that's right. I remember this. I've already okay. This will definitely lower my national unity. Now you gotta be careful because you are gonna have some problems earlier on with political power and national unity. But you should be able to handle it pretty well if you do it right. So I'm gonna unpause the game now. Okay, I'm not gonna start training any troop divisions yet. Oh, you want to also make sure researching. You want construction production. Production right out the gate, and then usually I would go for construction, but there's something special with Road to 56 that I really want to research. Shock troopers. Research these guys as soon as possible, because these guys have a lot of breakthrough and heart attack. These guys can break through a front line really easily, and that is almost essential for beating Japan in this game. If you can push Japan out of Korea, you won. Because as soon as Japan gets pushed out of Korea, Japan goes into a democratic civil war, where Democrats rise up. So that's what you want. Okay, so right now my troops are just training, and I'm losing influence. I'm gonna be losing a little bit of influence for a while. As soon as this national focus is done, I'm gonna get quite a bit of influence. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough though for yeah, because I need 150 for the silent workhorse. You want this guy first off. Then you want the captive industry. So that was just 56, road 56, and then you want the Prince of Terror after that. Do not, if you probably want. Here's the thing. In almost any game, you probably want to go down the democratic route because you get lots of bonuses with the democratic route that I've seen. And why would you go on the fascist or communist route? You have a communist uprising and you have a fascist enemy trying to attack you. I mean, I don't want to go for fascism and communism. They attack me. Okay, so the Shanxi offer, or however it's pronounced. Okay, so I have enough influence now, so I do. So you want to get silent workhorse route the gate because this. Okay. Oh, okay. The Mongol political community. Okay, this is your puppets up here. You want to split the community, and here's why. And you'll see why you don't want to build in these guys' territory. Because you don't have enough build speed at this point in the game to, well, do anything about it. Now, your greatest asset as China, okay, Mongol military government established. That's right. So, Japan has put a puppet government in place. So, they're no longer your puppet. They're Japan's puppet. You want to get that early because if you don't know about this, I've done this many times. I put my borders on Manchukuo. And Japan suddenly turns around, oh, by the way, that puppet of yours? Yeah, it's actually my puppet. And it's like, oh, great. So, you lose a little bit of political power with that, but it's fine. Okay, so the Shanxi offer basically gives you the ability to offer to annex Shanxi, and it almost always succeeds. And then the Spanish Civil War. Okay, so pause. I now have 5 army experience. So this is what you do. You go over here, division designer, you create a new division. I always name it like guard or something. So I'm going to make it coast guard. Because that's basically what it's going to be doing. As you take this, and it's 1 infantry. And that is it. That's your coast. Did I name that wrong? Coast guard. I usually put these up at elite so they get the highest priority, and they just get the highest priority. So these guys are your cheapest division, and these guys are going to be guarding your coast. And this is where China becomes has a really huge ability. Your manpower is your biggest asset as China. You have a massive manpower after you annex all these territories. It is just absolutely crazy how much manpower you have, that you will have access to. Once you increase your conscription laws and you annex these territories, your manpower will be absolutely massive. I've got like 26 million manpower out of once I've annexed all the Chinese territories. Now, here's the thing: is that you want sinking very early because, well, one, you want to avoid getting into a war with the Soviet Union too early. I mean, I beat the Soviet Union as China in this mod, but it was a pain in the butt to do. So you want to get the political focus a sinking issue, however it's pronounced. You want to do that, definitely. That gives you some more political power. Yeah, sinking issue. You want to have at least 750k manpower in this. You want to basically try and get China to take care of Japan as fast as possible. Those shock troopers will help you do that. Once you have enough troops on your coast, you will need like up to 300 to 600 divisions on your coast to defend it. Also, sorry I forgot to do this. Stop training. Stop training these guys. Once you get that troop, stop training. You don't need more army experience. You just need to have enough troops to take out Japan. and you're gonna have a lot of troops. And if Japan does make a landing, do not freak out. Once you've garrisoned, you're gonna basically garrison the coast with over 300 divisions, probably even more. Japan is not gonna land us. If Japan does land, it's not gonna do anything for them because the second they land, they're gonna be pushed off the coast almost immediately. So if you notice, I'm still gaining. Yeah, I'm still getting some army experience from things. So don't worry about that. I'm not training my troops anymore. You definitely want to increase your conscription laws as soon as possible, so you can get as many troops as possible. Because right now you have 1.7 million. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. But you want more. You want to have at least double or tripled. Now, as China, you're going to be facing troops that are. You're going to be facing countries like Soviet Union eventually. Okay, now we got Shaanxi. Okay, or how it's pronounced. Okay, so we get this. So it builds two infrastructure on the border with this one, so it makes it a bit easier. Let me move this. Actually, no, I want to just keep the front line small, so I want to push towards the capital as quickly as possible. So you want right about there. So you'll push towards the capital pretty quickly. Oh, and by the way, when you annex Shaanxi, you get some of their troops. So I just put them on there. Whenever you annex a territory that willingly annexes, you'll get their troops. I go for it. Put it on there. Don't put it on their coast. Don't worry about that. You're going to have all your Coast Guard troops going to be doing that. Now, you want to have as many of these queued up as possible. I know it's going to be yellow, but that'll catch up soon. There. So I got like 36 divisions queued up at a time. You're going to have a lot of divisions. And you're going to be constantly micromanaging them onto the coast. It's a thing you got to do as you play when you play as China. It just happens. What you need to hope is that Japan takes their good, sweet time with attacking you. Leave your ships in dock here, because if you're playing on historically accurate, Japan's gonna rush to attack you if you're showing signs of beefing yourself up. So if you, so when I'm building up these troops, these massive amount of troops, don't garrison them on the coast until Japan starts justifying against you. And even then, you should wait a bit. Okay, so here's the first troop. And then I always have this guy there. And I'm just going to move them over here. Let me turn down the game volume. Now, I want to say this right away. As a Jehovah's Witness, I don't really agree with war. But this game is very fun because of its strategy. I love this game for the strategy behind it and just the skill required. I like strategy games, and this is why I enjoy this game. Not a fan of the war aspect, but that's kind of what this game is, so you gotta live with it. Do we have any Trump jokes going on in the comments yet? I probably wouldn't have any Trump jokes if I hadn't mentioned it. Okay, let's see. Strike the communist bandit. So 35 days, I'll get this. Now the game is running a bit slower because I'm recording, but it shouldn't be too bad. Construction. Yeah, you want to get your construction speed up as pretty high as you can, but you also want those shock troopers. As China in Road to 56, China can actually become very powerful in the mid to late game. Sorry, my neck is a bit out of sorts. China can become very powerful in mid to late game because there's a lot of buffs you can get as China. Up here's some more, and here's a huge number of divisions. I'm gonna probably bump up my queue a bit more. Give me a second to all get spawned in. So I'm gonna add more to the queue. Do I want to? Maybe more manpower need. I got plenty of manpower. It's infantry equipment that I'm gonna need. You're gonna basically queue up to like maybe 100 or 200 divisions once you get later into the game. Okay, now I have a justification against the communist China. So I'm not gonna set up a war goal yet, or another. Actually, I will. Ooh boy. Hold on. I never really decide what I want to do with this. You kind of want to go for this because that increases your research speed. And as China, you have a really big debuff. It plus 40% research speed. It is a pain. So this kind of option is usually you can decide. But I'm planning on taking out these guys pretty fast, so I'm going to wait because I want to unify China. But yeah, I'm going to wait because it takes 70 days. And I should probably have this done before then. Well before then. So we're going to declare war on Communist China. Okay. That's another thing. If you notice, that was right there with talking about the corrupt government. Yeah, we have a really bad corrupt government right now. That's one of the Chinese. At the beginning of the game in Emerald 56, China is very nerfed. But by the end of the game, oh my gosh, China becomes an absolute powerhouse. Now, I'm starting to push towards Yan'an. I want to push towards it pretty quickly. I usually will just do this. And they'll just push straight towards it. That's a big, yeah. Now, these other countries are joining us in the fight. These other Chinese countries. Now, this is taking a lot longer than I want to. Okay, so these guys are going to ask for non-aggression packs. Don't take them. Because when you get the Unified China event, they might not accept the unification. Okay, so because I'm taking a while to do this, I'm going to start sending these troops, these guard troops up there. I'm actually just might build a front line here. Now, this is lagging a lot for me. This game is a lot slower than it normally is. Let these troops get up here. You want to get their capital as soon as possible. Now, this is taking a lot longer than it normally does, and this is starting to worry me. Yeah, that's it. Come on. About to capture their capital. Okay, there. Now, we have most of the war score, so we should have enough to annex them. Yes, we do. Okay. Now, I'm going to move these troops up here. These guys are over here. Now, the reason why is I don't want to get them on the borders quite yet. The reason being as well, you're gonna provoke Japan, and you don't want to provoke Japan until you have annexed all of China. Now, these guys will half the time they accept, half the time they don't. So usually it's Zibi. I don't know how to pronounce this and this. I think it's the click. Something click, but I'm not very good with these kinds of names. These two are the most common to deny you the annexation, but it's usually one or the other. It's never both, so you shouldn't worry. Actually, I'm gonna put these guys on their border because these guys usually are the most common to say no to the annexation. Now you gotta keep looking at Japan, watching what focuses they're taking. Yeah, pre-war levels. You end up with a lot of so there, shock troopers. Don't prep any of these yet. You will wait for those, but it's best to have them researched as soon as possible. Land doctrines. You want these land doctrines. These will help you a lot. Okay. We already have 64 divisions on this. We already have over 100 divisions now. So that's awesome. And you're going to get a lot more. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, that was like awesome. We got more divisions coming in. I'm going to let those come in. Queue up some more. There we got over 100 divisions queued up. That's what you want. Let's check my factories. They take a long time to build. If you have more civilian factories, here's the thing, it's sort of a balance thing. Civilian factories allow you to build more factories at once. Or more provinces at once, or states. But it's usually something not to worry about. Still pumping out troops. I'm going to let that pump out troops because I don't want to continuously click and click and click. Okay, so we're still waiting for this Unified China event, or thing. Insufficient resources. I'm running low on iron. So usually you don't want to do this. this is the case where you want to. You want to have that iron, because that iron is going to be very important to you. Once you annex these guys, the production of guns is going to be a lot easier. Okay, so those guys... Okay, so these guys did not fold right away, as you can see. So, don't have enough manpower for that yet, but we're over the demand to bet. You want as many land, as much land as possible. So, okay, so these guys over here. So these guys all let me annex them. Put those ones on there. You take their troops, throw them on this border. Okay, these guys go over here. So now you have over 103 troops. That's not enough. Hold off for a second on this. You don't want to garrison your coast yet, because that will irk Japan. Okay, so these ones refuse. So these are the guys you really need the most, though, because they're the ones who have all the resources. If you check the resource map here, they have lots of resources here. These are the most important ones for you. Okay, so you can declare war right away. I'm going to wait a second until my troops get down there. Make sure they are... Okay, hold on. I need to queue them up. Okay. They weren't moving. That was starting to bother me. I hate when that happens. Sometimes that'll happen. You have to actually queue them there. And most of my troops are there. So I'm going to declare war. Okay, the corruption is gone. So we have some... Usually you won't be at war for quite a while if you want these built up, but you want to take these guys out pretty quickly. So now I don't know why I'm losing battles so easily. Hold on, I'm gonna direct these troops. Hold on. Look for holes in their front line is usually the best thing to do. Okay, they should. So I got them queued up to go that way. We got more troops coming out of the closet. Haha, gay jokes. Okay, we got political power. So you either want to increase your manpower. We don't need to because we're over 4 million. You want captain of industry. Increase your infrastructure and build speed. So we got over 151 troops on this guy now. Not enough yet. Why did these troops... Hold on. Oh, that happens a lot of time. Hitler was assassinated. That's with Road to 56. I told these troops to go down here. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why you're not going down here. Instead, you're fighting those guys. This is taking a lot longer than I want it to. Okay, because we don't have enough. I want to go for this guy that's right here. We don't have enough manpower in the field. We are almost there. Okay, this is taking a lot longer to annex these guys than I... Okay, so Tibet, accepted. They usually do. They almost never say no. I'm trying to get these guys to take their title. This has never taken me this long. And I think it's because I don't... Because usually I throw a bunch of these troops on here, but I don't want to this time. I want to make sure my coast is nice and guarded. Okay, we're about to take Nanning. Okay. That took longer than I wanted it to, but we did it. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do next. You want to queue up more guns now. Make sure you're producing as many guns as you can so you can produce as many of these troops as you can. We have 5 million manpower now. You're going to want to use as much of that as you can when you're facing Japan. Now, I'm going to check Japan's... that expired. Okay. Okay, so they seem to be taking a lot longer than normal. Usually by this point, would have a justification against me. I don't. So that is good. I'm going to try and keep it that way. So I'm not going to really be doing a whole lot of putting troops on borders or anything. Except for... no, not that one. I'm going to put these guys... Yes, I know. Let's see. I'm going to go for that one. As long as Japan can't see our troops, it's good. Okay, you either want to go for this or you want to go for faster research speed. I'll go for either or every game. It depends. You'll probably want to go for this one, but it takes a long time to research, so it's probably best if you go for this, because, well, actually, no, it's 1937, so you want this. Now, this is starting to become a problem. I will be getting rid of that soon. Once I try, if I should have the event to get sinking soon. I'm going to be trying to go for that, hopefully. I just need more troops. Okay, so I'm having a bit of a problem with the infantry equipment production. And I'm trying to produce as many as I can. It's just really slow right now. Now, usually when you're at war, you can produce them a lot faster. And the war with Japan could probably help that, but it's usually a double-edged sword, obviously. Because when you're at war with Japan... Oh, look at that. Japan is justifying against us. So we'll not worry about sinking anymore. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Come on. Oh, wrong guy. Okay. Now there's two ways you can go about this. You can either leave them like this, or you can create a defensive line. Okay, you want these guys garrisoning your coast. And when I say your coast, I mean all of your coast. So that even means down here too. Because if you have any sort of exposed area on your coast, Japan will land there. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They will land there. So you only want them defending naval bases and coastline. Don't worry about guarding Nanning, because they're not going to be able to land on your coast at all to get Nanning in the first place. So you shouldn't have to worry about garrisoning troops on your strategic points, on your victory points. Okay. Because I don't have enough manpower for that, I'm going to go with the Academy, whatever thing this is. I wanted to go for that. So I'm actually going to remove this guy's, I'm going to remove this. Pause this. And I want to fallback line, and I'm going to do it right on the border. Right through around here. And the reason being is that you just want that. Now, I should start considering training shock troops soon. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of these. Any place that it doesn't have enough equipment for, get rid of. Now, once you decide that you're at a point where you have enough guard divisions on your coast, there's Marco Polo Bridge accident, you should stop training them. But I'm going to queue up, so we just need infantry equipment. Now, these shock troopers use quite a bit of infantry equipment, but it's best to have them, because they can break that front line very easily. Until you have enough shock troopers that you feel like you can break through easily, you want to go for that tech right there. Until you have enough shock troopers that you feel like you can break through easily, don't play offensive. Play completely defensive, because you can hold this line very easily after a certain point. So I got around 194 troops. I'm going to start allocating a few over here. Start throwing troops on the defensive line. Now the reason why is simply because, well, you want to be able to defend against a lot of attack. Now normally I put on conscription logs, but nope, I'm going to go for this. And you want to go for army defense, because you're going to be playing defensive for most of this war, for the beginning of this war. Sorry, I keep hitting Alt, but hit space. Now, if you could take sinking, take them as soon as possible, because if you could take them before the common turn, before they join the common turn, that's probably the best. Because otherwise, because you're gonna want them. Having more land is good, because you'll have more. Okay. So that should be enough to guard my coast. Now, any more troops that come off of there are going onto the defensive front. Okay. Spain has stopped its civil war. Make sure you have lots of divisions on both the coast and on your front line. And your defensive line. Just keep piling them on. Czechoslovakia is at war. Now, if you play non-aligned, and sinking doesn't. If you can get zinking and you played online before that, the Soviet Union will actually invite you to the Comintern if you don't go down democratic or fascist route early on. Okay, we're at war now. Now the Soviet Union is going to supply you with lots of troops, lots of volunteers. Take them. Soviet Union is going to be a really good friend for you right now. Now, I know what I said, the Soviet Union can turn on you. Yes, they can. But it's best if they play your friend. If you can just hold them, you basically want to hold them back. I don't know what Japan is. Yeah. Soviets are going to give you lots of support. Now, if you want to join the Comintern, I'd almost suggest doing that. But after a while, you're probably going to go down the democratic route because America can give you lots of good buffs too, and being part of the Allies is usually a pretty good advantage as well. Keep just throwing troops on the border. If you notice, we're winning our defensive battles. Barely winning. Okay, don't want to play an offensive. Why are you playing offensive? Oh, because that's Soviet troops. Yeah. You want to play entirely defensive for most of the war, and you're going to do it very easily. You're going to very easily be able to play defensive. There's not a whole lot they can do about it, either. Now, if you notice, I keep getting these naval invasions. They're not naval invading me. They can't. I got too many troops defending my coast. See right here, they're trying to do a naval invasion. It's not working for them. I want to go for this pretty soon, too. Okay, we got an extra research slot. That's good. Now, hold on. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Research this. Increase your research speed. You know how we're at minus 40 or plus 40 research time before? Now we're at plus 13. You just cut a huge chunk out of your research time. Now, playing defensive as China for the first parts of the war is very important. Do not play offensive until you have lots of shock troopers. And shock troopers take a little while to train. Okay, whoa, okay, that's way too many, sorry. Okay. Got 10 queued up right now. Keep throwing. Now, we're losing this battle up here. However, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, because we keep adding, we just keep throwing troops on the border. Okay, so this. Boom. Okay, the construction speed just got faster. Okay. Now, as China, you're you're probably gonna be the first to get nukes, by the way. I'll tell you that right now. You're gonna probably be the first to get nukes. And I know that's kind of crazy saying, but you're gonna get some really good bonuses later that make nuclear research really easy. Now, if you see, we got a shock troop right here. So we do have, okay, so here they go. Okay, hold on. This will happen on occasion. They will probably break through at some point in some spots. That's okay. Don't freak out. The best thing to do is to continue to hold that line. Now, the Soviet Union is going to continue to try and attack. You don't attack, whatever you do. Now, I'm probably need to start queuing up some more regular, the guard troops, because I'm going to need lots more, because I'm having troubles. Industry improved. This is a good event. You want these. I also forgot to put this on higher priority. Sorry, I should have done that earlier, but I didn't, because I was silly. Okay, we lost Beijing. Now, this is usually when you should start worrying a little bit. This strategy is not always foolproof. Sometimes Japan will be a lot more aggressive than normal, but you can you'll eventually win this. Just gotta keep holding. Now, I'm gonna need to redraw my defensive line. Actually, in fact, getting rid of the defensive line, I'm building a front line. And the reason being is that I simply need to start pushing. At this point, you have to actually start pushing because you're going to be in trouble if you don't. And usually your offensive will be pretty effective. Now, I have a few shock troopers in here, at least I have at least one shock trooper in here. That one shock trooper makes a big difference already. Now, if you notice that you're not getting a whole lot of problems on your coast, this is about the point where you want to probably start taking a few troops from your coast defense and start putting them on your front line. It's just, if you're having a lot of ease fending off these front lines, then yeah. If you notice, they've already lost a huge chunk of land here. They have Beijing, which is a problem, but you just want to keep building up that front line. Now, having lots of guards is easy enough, but after a while, you're going to get so many guards on here that you can't put any more on, and that's usually because of your infrastructure. You'll want to build that up after a while, but you should be fine for now. I've got a lot of things building. I need to do some more research. Sorry, didn't realize this was there. Okay, let's see. Let's go for this. You're going to be doing a lot of back and forth work and a lot of tedious things for this, because you simply just have to. Okay, if you notice, I lost a troop on my coast. Japan actually dealt me a little bit of damage there, but I'm fine. I'm playing defensive. I'm going to push. Now, you usually don't want to do this, and you're going to start seeing you're going to lose some troops. Yeah, there. Okay, suddenly you see that exclamation mark? Don't. Don't keep pushing. You're going to get more Soviet volunteers. Look at that. Look at that. We pushed Japan back from there. That is good. Keep throwing troops on the front line. Just keep piling them on. Your coast should be fine. Okay, right here. So Japan did make a landing. And it looks like we're losing. But here's the thing. Is that we're actually not. We have so many troops here that when one dies, another one comes in, and eventually just whittles down Japan's troops. Their divisions will just slowly whittle down after troop after troop. Because basically what we're doing is we're just overwhelming Japan. I still got troops attacking. Stop. There. So if you notice that we did get pushed back a little, but look at this. We've almost pushed them back again. Okay. Research speed just got boosted a bit. Okay, pause. Got a lot of things going on. Research this next. You just want to cut down your research time as much as possible. Okay, so we don't need to worry about this because that's not a problem. Want to go for this. Increase your research speed a lot. You want all that research speed. That is really important for you. Okay. Army logistics. Division attrition, -8%. Good. You want that. Because you're basically, because that's what you're doing right now. You're fighting a war of attrition. Come on. Select them. You're fighting a war of attrition against Japan. And you want to be able to fight them back. Now, it looks like we're losing this battle over here. This is not good. But look at that. As soon as that one ship was pushed out or killed, got new ones coming in. Okay, we're losing something down here. No, that's just the Soviet Union being stupid. Okay, so, yeah, the Soviet Union will cause a bit of problem for you at times, but usually their extra divisions, when you start pushing, oh my gosh, they're going to be so helpful. Okay, so how am I shock trooper just doing? Increase the priority. Okay, there we got a bunch of shock troopers that just came out. We just got 8 more shock troopers. Boom. You just increased your power by like almost 20%. Your breakthrough just jumped a lot, and you now have. You just increased your basically your offensive ability by a substantial amount. At least don't want to overplay it. Okay. You know, if you want to start micromanaging your troops, you should probably do that. I don't do that often, but if you can, I would take a huge number of these troops here and just push them right through here. Throw an extra division in there. And you'll just want to push them back. Now, if I have a few shock troopers nearby, I don't see any nearby. Oh, there's one right here. You'll want that shock trooper to start helping out. Okay. Got some then build up in my throat. Okay. Tell everyone to stop what they're doing. Stop that attack. Focus on defensive. There. Okay. I tried to push there. I could have done it, but didn't have enough troops. Just keep throwing on troops. Eventually, you're going to reach a point where you're going to have so many troops on the border that you just have no option but to push. Now, if you want to start converting a few of your troops to shock troopers, I would suggest doing that. I'm probably going to start cutting back on my Coast Guard troops a bit. Because, well, I need to be able to break through. So I'm going to start cutting back on these and start focusing more on shock troopers after a while. But you just want to keep just throwing on troops. Don't cut back too much, too early. Let's see my gun production. I am losing steel. Now the reason why is because I don't have enough convoys. Well, I do, just barely. And another problem is that, well, Japan basically has sea superiority over here. Or they got lots of things defending the ocean. Now, the Soviets are trying to take Beijing, and they might actually do it. Oh. There. Right there. Oh! We had it! Okay. So we're starting to get pushed back a little. So this is a problem. Now, if you notice, we don't have a whole lot of air superiority. This is usually a hard thing to do because you don't have a whole lot of option for that. If you can do it, looks like we're losing something down here. Hold on. I'm starting to see something that might be concerning me. Okay. Oh, they made a landing here, but they're having troubles trying to make progress on it. I want all these troops in the area. Yeah. Push into Japan's territory. So yeah. They are having troubles trying to... I'm recording. Oh, it's just my dog. What are you doing here, Maggie? Dog's here, just pushing my door open for some reason. I don't know how she's doing that. I still understand how you do that, dog. Okay. What is going on here? Why are we losing ground? Okay. Now, I know so you gotta remember, I tend to forget this times that just because I'm building up does not mean the Japanese are not building up either. Because they are. Okay, let's see. Army maneuver. Special forces. Okay. Special forces bonus. Those are going to be based on my guard troops, or the special forces. Because I set them as that. Okay, so basically, at this point, it's basically a war of attrition. I'm not going to show a whole lot more. I'm probably going to make an extra episode after this. Sorry, I keep opening up things on my computer that I didn't want to. Now, we are getting pushed back a little bit. Now, this is a problem. This is usually... Because I think this game, Japan is just being a bit more difficult than normal. And this happens. This is the thing that happens. Let's see. And usually it's not a good thing, but I think I can take care of it. I just gotta keep adding troops on. Now, I'm probably gonna push for an offensive right here. If I can recapture Beijing. Come on. Okay, looks like it's not going to happen. So, everyone stop what they're doing. So, I just need to keep building my border. So, basically, I need to have like over 500, 600 troops on the front line. More shock troops, definitely keep pumping those out. Now, I seem to be having a bit more trouble this game than I normally do. I think it's just because that this game, Japan is being a bit harder to fight than normal. And this happens. Okay, look right here. We did have a push off into here, which is not uncommon, but it happens. But I wouldn't get too excited over it. If you can, however, encircle, do it. I'm telling these troops to encircle. Okay, and they are. Okay, making sure they are. Didn't look like it. Now, if you do get pushed back, you do have a backup plan, which I usually do, because this I will occasionally get pushed back enough. If you lose enough war score, if you're 25% towards surrendering, you can choose this lure them in strategy. That is very useful. It is a very powerful strategy. Oh, look at that! I got dark yards. Okay, so convoys. Start building convoys, because we need them. Don't worry about that. Okay, there we go. So this basically becomes a bit of a slog after a while. Okay, let's look at that. So Japan has started making landings, and we're starting to have trouble trying to hold them off. This is where you should start throwing more troops on your coast, which I will do. I'm going to start throwing more troops on. I'm going to start giving this guy more troops. And basically, you got to start micromanaging after a while about which troops go where and when. Okay, new research. Mass mobilization. This is when you start getting some more advantage, hopefully. You just got to be persistent, and you just got to not give up. Lessons of history. What that slows, reduces your attrition. You're going to have a lot of manpower to use, and you should really use it. I am starting to lose ground, and this is a problem. I mean, it happens every time you reach 500 army experience, you get that bonus as China. Oh, I'm getting tired. I've been sitting here for a while. Yeah, so basically this is just a war of attrition. You gotta hold them as long as you can. Yeah, I'd probably start building up my fallback line again and just get rid of the front line. But as you can see, look at all those greens. We're winning all the defensive battles. They're all defensive battles. The Soviets are trying to do an offensive battle down here. Yeah, Soviets aren't very smart. I mean, I'd almost consider joining the Comintern as soon as you can, and then leaving them for the Allies. I don't know. It depends on what you want to do. I mean, okay, start throwing troops on the coast now. Now, Beijing is pretty, because usually when the Japanese get Beijing, you're going to have a hard time pushing through. Now, the first time I played this as China, I actually beat Japan very fast. I don't know how I did it, but I did. But I haven't been able to do it since then. So basically, I've just been playing absolutely just defensive and war of attrition the entire game, basically, from now on. And it works. Now, Japan does have a bit of a foothold here, and that's a bit of a problem, but I don't think they can hold it for very long at this current rate. So if you notice, I'm getting more dockyards. Start using those. Okay, so I need to start building more military factories. So I'm going to actually start queuing up things in the front of the queue for military factories. Now, I have a plus 40% construction speed. That is awesome. And as China, you can basically outclass America in this game. If you do things right and you can survive Japan. They're going to continue to try and naval evade you. You just got to keep holding it. See, they had a foothold here, now they're down in one province, and they're not going to keep this province because look at these. Look at their divisions. They have no health left. Especially that tank division right there. Now, I can't get air superiority as hard as I try, so looks like I'm going to constantly have that problem. And it's something you just kind of have to deal with as China, because you're not going to be able to have that air superiority for quite a while. I mean, by the time you research jets, you should have that air superiority. And if you notice, I'm only working on construction and not of the other techs, because they have no use for me at the beginning of the game. I'll get those techs very fast later on. The Axis was formed. Okay, so Germany seems to be having a pretty good game this game. I've had games where Germany is both really bad and both really good at the same time. Germany is doing pretty good, and that's concerning for me. But here's the thing: is that if Germany declares war on me, or if Japan joins the Axis and declares war on me, then the Comintern is gonna invite me to the Soviet Union's gonna invite me to the Comintern, and and then you almost guaranteed to beat Japan. Okay, so I seem to have control of my coast again, so troops are going to now start going back towards the front line. Got more shock troops, and yeah. So I'm going to actually end this episode here because I've been doing this for a while, and this episode's is getting really long. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing, and if you guys want to see me finish this, then say down below. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill. You know how it works. And yeah. So 1938, don't want to research that. So, you'll probably want to research this. You'll start want to build those steel production facilities soon. So if you notice, I started with a plus 40 research speed time. Now it's plus 5. I've taken around, I feel like 35% research time has been taken away from my. So anyway, guys, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Let's say China.